This is a regular meeting. No, it's not. It's a special meeting of the Board of Trustees for Springfield Township. And even though it's special, not regular, we're going to follow our regular procedure. So we begin with a Pledge of Allegiance. And we ask you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Price, will you call the roll, please?
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
Here.
Mr. Young.
Here.
Mr. DeLauro.
Here.
Mr. Spicker.
Here.
If there's anybody that's here to speak on a matter that you can see is on the agenda and you want to speak to us before we vote on it, just indicate that to me now. Hearing nobody, we will give you an opportunity at the end of the agenda to speak to us on any matter that you want brought to our attention. So I'm going to begin with the administrative motions. I'm going to move to dispense with the reading of minutes and approve the minutes to date.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro.
Yes.
Next, I move to approve payment of bills and payroll as prepared by our fiscal officers, subject to audit.
Second?
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro.
Yes.
Next, I move to approve the annual payment to the Summit County Public Health Department for stormwater service fees in an amount of $4,126.48 and paid from Fund Line 1000-110-500.
Second?
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro.
Yes.
Next, I move to approve the attached resolution with Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, also called NOPEC, for the 2023 Energize Community Grant Program.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro.
Yes.
Next, I move to adopt the attached resolution creating a policy through OTARMA to allow the use of an employee dishonesty and faithful performance of duty coverage document. And Mr. Fiscal Officer, this was a matter, an additional benefit of our OTARMA program?
Yes, and it would replace our insurance bonding that we have on responsible officers and employees that we pay a premium for. We'll have to pay some additional amounts for our coverage through OTARMA, but this is something that most of the other municipalities in Ohio have gone to, in part because it's less onerous for public employees, in that under the present bonding regime, the insurance company can go after the public employee or officer personally to recover funds, whereas under this particular program, that would not be the case.
So it's really a transition to insurance as opposed to surety bonding. When you surety bonding, you are personally liable.
Though OTARMA is a shared risk pool, it's technically not an insurance company, but more, it's more like an insurance arrangement.
The risk pool undertakes the liability.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I move that we adopt that particular resolution.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro.
Yes.
Next, I move to approve the attached resolution, which would authorize, I think I wrote the word approving twice, it would authorize an application to the State of Ohio Department of Natural Resources for a recreational trails program and/or the Clean Ohio Trails Fund for further development of the Spartan Trail. That is, it is for a grant for the further development. So it's authorizing, a resolution authorizing that we make an application to the Department of Natural Resources for a grant for, under the Recreational Trails Program or the Clean Ohio Trails Program Fund for the specific purpose of further development of the Spartan Trail.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.
Next, I want to amend a prior motion, the prior motion number 53-20, for a contract of services from Environmental Design Group in the amount of $13,480 to be changed, and this is how the motion is amending, to change it to $17,050, and the payment of which would be from Fund Line 100-610-730, and the purpose of the services was to assess the feasibility and development of an online survey, probable costs, and preparation of a trail alignment map for extension of the Spartan Trail, detail of services as set forth in a proposal to be attached to the minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro, there are some matters that you brought to our attention from the fire department.
Yes, for the fire department, I move to make job offers to Brandon Bryan, Grayson Henderson, Aaron Gurley to the position of part-time firefighter, EMT paramedic, and Bruce Allen George, Zachary Zarowski, Jonathan Park to the position of part-time firefighter, EMT basic, and Charles Lyle, Adriano Scioni, and Theodore Klockmeyer to the position of part-time firefighter, EMT training. Candidate appointments are effective April 17, 2023, and these are contingent on the successful completion of a physical agility test, per-employment background check, pre-employment physical exam, and pre-employment drug test. Successful candidates will also be bound to the terms and conditions of the employment as detailed in the part-time firefighters collective bargaining agreement.
I would second that.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes. I move to approve the purchase of replacement firefighter appliances through MES Warren Fire Equipment at a cost not to exceed $4,500 and paid from Fund Line 2281-760-790 and purchase requisition number 8612022.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes. I move to accept an email received from fire medic Joe Burnside announcing his intention to retire and separate employment with Springfield Township effective April 15, 2023. A presentation recognizing Joe's 21 years of service to Springfield Township will be held next month.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.
We do want to thank him publicly now, although, and I think the presentation is going to be at a public.
Yes, it is scheduled currently for May 11th.
Okay.
Okay. I move to enter into a 5-year agreement, February 10th, 2023 through 6/30/2028 with the Emergency Medical Services Program Health and Public Services Division, Stark State College. Whereas the college has a curriculum in emergency medical services technology, basic, intermediate, and paramedic, and whereas fieldwork experience is required an integral component of the emergency medical services technology curriculum, and whereas the college desires cooperation of facilities, services in the development and implementation of the fieldwork experience phase of its emergency medical services curriculum, and whereas the facility services recognizes its professional responsibility to participate in the education of emergency medical services students, and whereas the facility service wishes to join the college in development and implementation of fieldwork experience for emergency services students.
I would second that motion.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.
Mrs. Chapman, you have a matter for the road department and also one for the police department.
I move to accept and enter into a contract with Summit County Engineer for the 2023 pavement program and make direct payments to Melway Paving in the amount not to exceed $500,000 and paid from fund lines 1,330,360 in the amount of $50,000, 2021-330-360 in the amount of $200,000, 2031-330-360 in the amount of $190,000, and 2231-330-360 in the amount of $60,000. This represents the 405 motor pave and 422 chip seal programs.
I would second that. I wish we had more money for the roads,
Absolutely.
but I can remember years here on the board when we spent 1/5 of that. And so
Fraction.
we're making every effort we just have lots of roads.
That's gonna only equivalent to about 3.6 miles of road rehab this year at
Has
500.
it been determined which roads are gonna get?
Yes,
He would.
yeah, I have a list of roads that are actually being done this year.
Yeah, if you want to see that afterwards, he would be able to show you.
Roll call.
Yeah, I seconded it.
Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.
I move to approve the hiring of part-time police officer Harold Britt effective 4/10/23.
I would second that.
Roll call, Mrs. Chapman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.
This is a point in which we're prepared to hear any input. If there's anybody who wants to speak to us, we're here to listen. Okay, well, Mr. DeLauro, you have announcements?
Well, I do. Again, for Channel 1023 Spectrum Cable, it's the Springfield and Lakemore Community Channel. They usually give me a script and I don't have one, so I'm just gonna wing it.
You wing it?
Yes, believe it or not. Remember, it is your channel. If there's something that you would like to see, please notify us. You can get a hold of our IT department here at Springfield. You can send them an email or log on to our website at www.springfieldtownship.us to check out the programming, the dates and times for those programs. Currently running, though, is the Springfield Board of Education meeting from March 21st, the Springfield Trustees meeting from March 23rd, the Portage Lakes Community Center Board of Education meeting from March 16th, Terry and Craig Kaiser Sparktacular, Part 2, and the Lakemore Council meeting from March 20th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have some announcements?
Not this week.
Okay. Is there anything further from our department head?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, hearing nobody wishing to make a presentation to us, I'm going to move that we adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, Mrs.
It's
Chapman?
unanimous.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. DeLauro?
Yes.